This is the As Raw breakdown for Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo at 168 for the 168 undisputed title. In a fight that Jermell Charlo is moving up not one, but two weight classes. So one weight class, you kind of have a feel what it's gonna feel like, right? Still some unknowns, right? But there's still, you kind of have a feel, right? You can kind of say, well, he did that, did this in this weight class, and that would make logical sense that he could do this in this weight class. Two weight classes to me is an unknown. It's an unknown. We do not know what he's really gonna look like. We do not know what his power is gonna do. We do not know how he's gonna take punches. There's a lot of unknowns going up to weight classes. You also don't know how his body's gonna feel. You don't know how his body's gonna react. So the one thing that I'm noticing, and it's funny because boxing provides these lessons all the time. If you watch enough fights and you keep watching and you steady watching, steady pay attention to what's happening, we learn these lessons, but for some reason it feels like we forget. And I guess we're forgetting about weight classes again, right? We're forgetting about weight classes. Maybe we're getting enough great fighters to move up in weight and are dominating over weight classes that we just think the weight classes don't matter anymore. But they do, they still matter. A good big man still beats a good little man in most cases, right? And I know Jermell Charlo is taller than Canelo, but taller isn't how we do weight divisions. We don't do the middleweights are about 6 foot, and we don't do super middleweights are about 6'3". Okay, we don't do the heavyweights are all 7 footers, 6'10" and up. Okay, but that's not how we do it, right? And body mass and the way a guy's natural weight in the weight division is supposed to be, it could be deceiving. It could be very deceiving. So I think a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Jermell Charlo is actually the bigger man. No, he's not. Okay, because he hasn't proven to be the bigger man as far as fighting bigger men and beating them, knocking them out, and showing that he's a bigger man. Canelo has proven that. Now, Canelo might be short, but that doesn't mean that he's smaller than Jermell when it comes to size. There's also another thing that people need to realize is that getting in fight shape, right? And that's as far as making the weight that you're supposed to fight in, is a thing that helps you, keeps you honest and in shape, right? So Jermell fights at 154 pounds. Now it's probably hard for Jermell to make 154 pounds consistently. I'm sure it's very tough. But what that does is it also makes sure he's in the best shape possible, because that's probably what he needs to do to make 154 pounds, right? So it keeps him honest. Now, if he walks around somewhere close to 168, it's not as hard to make the weight. It's easier, right? And some people think, oh, that's an advantage. Not necessarily, because maybe you don't have to push yourself as hard as in camp as you did, and maybe you comfortably get there, but that doesn't mean you push yourself in camp and got all the things you needed to do to get to there that forced you to really push yourself to do these things and to get everything out of it that you could, right? To get you in this mental and physical state that it takes to make 154 pounds. Getting at 168, maybe you don't have to pull all that out, and maybe that makes you less of a fighter. Also, what is his body gonna feel like? He's never fought at this. There's no tune-up, right? I hate tune-ups. Anyone that knows me knows I hate tune-ups. I hate stay busy fights. But I think if you're gonna move up weight classes, right, especially you're gonna move up two, I think a tune-up doesn't hurt, because you can feel what your body's gonna feel like. I don't know if people remember De La Hoya versus Felix Stern, but De La Hoya looked a lot better in the Bernard Hopkins fight after the Felix Stern fight. He actually looked terrible in the Felix Stern fight once he got a little bit more used to what his body's gonna feel like, because maybe your speed's not all there. All right, there's a thing when fighters get older, this is just an example of older, not maybe necessarily the case for Jermell, but maybe there's more of a case for Canelo, but when fighters get older, right, and then they hit the pads, so I'm hitting the pads, and I'm getting older, and now I remember how fast I used to go, and I'm constantly hitting the pads, right, and I still feel like, oh, I'm still there. But what might be happening, right, and what you might not be noticing, is that suddenly when I used to hit the pad right here, now suddenly I'm catching the pad right here, right? So maybe the pad man is making up for the lost speed, but I'm not seeing it, right? And then when I'm sparring, right, maybe not full intensity, right? Maybe I'm not doing the sparring that I used to do, so maybe not so much sparring, right? And I'm fighting lesser guys, I'm still doing what I want to do, right? But then when I get with a guy that's top of the top and he's full speed and it's a full explosion, when I used to get right here with the pad and now I'm right here with the pad, I'm coming up short, right? I'm not getting there as fast as I used to, right? I'm not doing that. Well, now when I'm in the ring with someone and I throw a punch, I'm coming up short. I'm slower. I'm missing. And then my mental is telling me, oh wait, I used to throw this punch, but my physical cannot do it. And then I become punch shy, right? Because what my mental thinks I can do, my body can't. And we never figured that out in the gym, right? We never figured that out. So when Jermell moves up in this weight class, he might not be as fast as he once was. And he might not be really catching that mentally, right? To adjust to the new speed, to adjust to the new movement that he has. And he might realize that the day of the fight, and that'd be a disaster. So these weight classes are very important. We can't just throw out weight classes and think they don't matter. They definitely do. Now, I think why people feel a lot of confidence for Jermell, and I know that I felt a lot of confidence when the fight was first made for Jermell, is because people feel that Canelo is slowing down, and I felt Canelo was slowing down. And I do think he is slowing down. But I think that not only did I exaggerate it, but I think everybody else exaggerated how much Canelo is slowing down. I don't think Canelo is slowing down as far as he's for the taking right now. I think I was wrong about that. I think a lot of people are wrong about that, and I think that would be the best chance for Jermell. Now, I think, let's get this out of the way, both guys on top of their game, Canelo on top of his game, like when he fought Billy Joe Saunders, like that version of Canelo, and let's say Jermell now, right? And they fought at 168, and Canelo's at his best. I don't think it's even close, honestly. I don't think the fight's even close. I think Canelo is a more skilled fighter. I think he's a more disciplined fighter. I think that, to me, he's a higher level fighter than Jermell. And I'm really high on Jermell. I have Jermell in my top 3 pound for pound. It's not a diss to Jermell. I just think Canelo's a higher level fighter. Now, like I said, if you think Canelo's slowing down, this would be Jermell's best chance to pull this off, right? This would be the chance that he could get him, and credit to Jermell for really trying to find out how great he really is, right? Because he feels that he's on top of his game, so he feels like he could maybe pull something like this off, right? But the thing is, the Canelo is he's still very sharp, and especially the first 9 rounds. See, I was under the impression that he was slowing down maybe the second half of the fight. It's not the second half of the fight. It's the last, the ninth round. It's like the 9th round, 2 minutes in, that he hits a wall. He hits a big wall, and he starts to slow down. But before that, he's really sharp. Now, what do I see that's declining in his game? So Canelo, when he's at his best, right? When he figured out his game to be more of a counter puncher, he comes in, high guard, his feet planted. Now he takes little steps in, and he's constantly putting pressure on you. Now he puts pressure on you to get you to react, right? And he wants you to react so he can move and counter you, right? So he can move and go over the top, right? It allows him to put pressure, but causing you to jump in, right? Causing you to react. That's a good counter to him having slow feet, right? He has slow feet, so if I just put constant pressure on you, but I have good head movement, and then I get you to react, I can counter you. Now, he's not doing that as much. If you look at the Billy Joe Saunders fight, he does it a lot. He's really killing Billy Joe Saunders with his counter. Then you go look at the Golovkin #3 fight. You go look at the Ryder fight, not so much. Not doing it so much, not as effective with it. Now what Canelo more is he's more the aggressor, right? He's still a pressure on you, but what he's looking to do is get you to react to a feint, right? Get you to react to a jab and move yourself into a position, and then he's gonna throw a shot, right? And early on, he might hit your arm, might hit your guard. But what he's doing, he's very good at, is seeing how you defend. And once he sees how you defend, he slowly starts to say, okay, he does this, he's gonna block this side, so I'm slowly gonna adjust the punch here. We do Caleb Plant is he went to his body. Caleb Plant kept blocking his body. Caleb Plant kept here, and then suddenly he's noticed that Caleb Plant was getting stuck on one side, and then he went up to the top, right? He sees what you do. He's good at reading how you're gonna defend something, or where you're gonna get stuck, or where you're gonna leave an opening, and then he starts building on that slowly. So he's good. He's gonna put pressure on you. Now, what Jermell needs to do is be very disciplined in this fight. Most disciplined he's ever been in any fight, and he needs to get back to basics, right? If you look at Bivol when he had success against Canelo, he's here, right? And he's constant belts. He's here. Here. Now, why does that work against Canelo? Why was that so effective? Here, right? Just basic guard. When Canelo went, close guard right here, not giving him anything. He's gonna hit, I'm gonna feel the shots, but I'm not giving him anything that's gonna cause a big damage, right? He's gonna have to earn it. So I'm here, right? And then I'm coming straight forward. Right, basic 1-2s. That's because when Canelo's set and he's moving, right, he's hoping that you throw a punch that is wide. So you miss, right? So you're out of position. You're stuck in that position. I throw that punch, I'm stuck out of that position. I throw a big hook and I commit to it, I'm stuck in that position. I throw a big overhand right and I miss, I'm stuck out of position. He's gonna make me pay for that. Bivol never gave him that. Bivol stood in position, right? And the way Bivol fights is really a nightmare for Canelo, is he's always in the same position. So you can't really counter, because if you try to work off of that, he's still in position to react. He's still in position to react. And then he just backs up and blocks what you got. And he doesn't do any movement that's over exaggerated. Didn't have to really move around Canelo, slide around here, because Canelo wants you to do that. Canelo wants you to be out of position where you can't respond, so he can check you to the body, throw him right, or hit you to the body like that. He wants you to do that. So Jermell has to stay disciplined. He's got to focus on the 1-2s, and he's got to stay active with it, even if it's just this, and then go to jab, then right, then back, then this. So keep Canelo stuck here, right? And then when Canelo gets uncomfortable, he'll step out, reset. But don't give him anything where he's luring you in right here, and then I'm gonna throw a big left hook, and Canelo's gonna counter, or Canelo's gonna throw it with you, because he might not mind throwing with Jermell, because Jermell's a smaller man, so he don't mind going power for power with Jermell. Jermell needs to be disciplined in this fight. He needs to be disciplined. He needs to be disciplined with his guard. Now Jermell's a smaller man, and Bivol is a much bigger man, right? He's 175 pounds, so Bivol can take shots in the arm. It's not gonna have the same effect, right? Bivol's straight shots are gonna mean more than Jermell's did. But that's what Jermell's gonna still have to follow a game plan and see where it takes him, right? So discipline, right? Hit, back, keep the guard tight. Don't get stuck trying to get creative with your guard, right? Not the Castano fight, it was effective, right? He would block a shot, catch, uppercut, catch here, respond, catch here, respond. That's fine with Castano, right? He can take that power. The one thing with the Jermell, what I think he's really good at is he's very durable. He has good speed. He has good power. He has high intensity, and he could keep the intensity the whole fight. 12 rounds, same intensity, same speed, really good cardio, really durable. All those things combined make him very dangerous. But at this new weight, taking the power from shots from Canelo, I don't think you can play that game like that. I think it's got to be more disciplined. I don't think he can get extra with it, because you're gonna do these. You're gonna get here, get creative with your guard. Canelo's gonna read it, and he's gonna find a shot, and he's gonna give you feints to get you to react. That's the thing Canelo likes to do. See, what Canelo does is he positions himself in the ring to get you in a position that is gonna that is best for him, right, to attack. So he's here, he's slowly moving, and then guys often get scared, so they're just kind of watching him moving out of the way, because they don't know what he's coming with, right? So then guys start feeling shots on the arm. They're saying, okay, I don't want to be there, so I'm moving. And Canelo starts reading it. He sees you get a position where the rope's behind you, and then he throws 2 jabs, right? He gives you 2 jabs. Then suddenly, and then I'm stuck here, right? So now I gotta defend. And a lot of guys get stuck in these positions, and then Canelo, boom, boom, over the top, right? He starts positioning himself to get his offense off where you're stuck. So you can't give up too much ground, right? I'm here, step, here, I'm here, step. I'm not moving too much, because he's gonna tire me out. But also I'm in a position, I'm gonna get a lot of positions where I can't attack, and that's where Canelo wants me. And if I keep my guard basic, I'm not reacting too much to his feints. That's all I need to do with his feints. Discipline. Not here, don't get stuck in these positions, because then he's gonna start setting this stuff up. The first 5 rounds, we're gonna see these 2 guys at their best, at their highest level, with their most skill, everything. We're gonna see, as far as the skill level, we're gonna see where it's at. Now, I think Jermell's gonna be competitive in this fight. I do believe he's gonna be competitive. He's a great fighter. But I do think in exchanges, right, and Jermell, who will get in heated exchanges, Jermell who will not just let a shot go by, right? I think in those kind of exchanges, I think Canelo's gonna catch, and I think his shot's gonna mean more. Now, I'm not sure he puts Jermell down. Jermell's a very good chin. But like I said, these weight classes, we don't really know. These are the unknowns of how he's gonna react. But I do think his shots are gonna mean more. And I think that you're gonna see Jermell physically effective by these shots. Whether he goes down, you're gonna see him maybe possibly hurt, shaken up, or thrown back by these shots. I think Jermell's gonna be very competitive in this fight, but I think Canelo's shots are just gonna mean a lot more. And I think if Jermell starts getting hit and starts getting more in exchanges, you're gonna see a lot more effect from Canelo's big shots. Now, I think that, like I said, I think that Jermell's gonna win some rounds early, but I think Canelo will get a lead. Where to me it gets interesting, and I think that Jermell probably finishes strong in this fight, is like I said, the 9th round, Canelo usually tires towards the end of it. I think from the 10th, 11th, and 12th, Jermell's gonna have big moments in this fight. As long as he doesn't get taken out early, is able to avoid enough damage, I think he's gonna finish this fight very strong, right? And then you're gonna see Jermell with Canelo just kind of following and not being able to keep up the pace, and Canelo not as much movement. He's more just stuck taking shots on the arm. I think Jermell's gonna be able to use his whole arsenal in the fight. And I think Jermell finishes strong in the fight. I think people are gonna, it's maybe, we're not anything for moral victories, but it will be a moral victory. It will show Jermell that, that he was at the level to move up 2 weight classes, fight one of the best guys in the world, and be able to be competitive and finish strong in the fight and take some rounds and at least make it, debatable. I think it will be a little bit debatable. I think Canelo's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be debatable. I think Canelo's gonna win a decision in this fight. I think a shot's gonna mean too much. I think that Jermell just gets a little bit, loses his focus a little bit, I don't think he has the best guard, most consistent guard. I think that sometimes he gets in exchanges that he doesn't. Sometimes he rests against the ropes too much. And these are all just things you cannot do against Canelo. And Canelo's gonna slowly begin to read them and be able to capitalize them. Like I said, if we can get Jermell to fight a really disciplined fight, 1, 2s, keep it here, keep it steady, keep it so where Canelo can't work off of these things, right? And keep Canelo stuck in the middle of the ring. The middle of the ring is your friend if you're Jermell. The middle of the ring is your friend. Again, getting against the ropes and letting Canelo time to put his stuff together, to set you up, to put you in position, I don't think that's a good idea. Canelo, he likes to put shots on you, and like I said, they land on the guard, right? He puts shots on you, he just wants to make you feel what he's doing. And to me, it's like when a guy's like chopping a piece of wood. When you see a guy, he's axing a piece of wood, it just looks like he's just hitting the same point over and over again. It doesn't look like he's getting anywhere, and it's not getting anywhere until it does get somewhere. It's the weirdest thing. When he chops the wood, he hit it, and then suddenly you just see, boom, it gets right to the middle, and you just see the wood start to crack. It's instant, and it was the same thing he's been working on. He hit 20 times, and finally, that 21 time, the wood goes like this. That's what Canelo's looking to do. He's just gonna chop wood, and suddenly that guard's gonna break, and suddenly he's gonna get through that guard, and everything's gonna fall apart, just like the Caleb Plant fight. Jermell needs complete discipline. He needs the best performance of his career to win this fight. I think Canelo's slowing down, but I don't think he's slowing down that much. I think that, like I said, the first 9 rounds, you're going to get the best Canelo. The last 3, I think Jermell's going to win. I think it's a competitive fight. It could be 7-5, 8-4 in that range, but I think Canelo wins. Maybe a little bit of debate, but that's pretty normal with the Canelo fight. And that's what my raw breakdown for Canelo versus Charlo. Deuces.